This week I'm going to deconstruct for you one of the dirty tricks in my book, 51 Dirty Tricks Bad Guys Really Hate. Hi, I'm Larry Kay with ShadowAnyone.com and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. And one of the things about this industry is there are an awful lot of things that once you learn them, you kind of shrug your shoulders and go, oh, that makes sense. Which is not the same thing as saying it's common sense. And I just want to give you an example of one of the kind of more vanilla tricks that I teach in my book. And I believe that this, I call this, or I say, describe on the back cover, it's something like the best time to use the last place you look dirty trick. And here's the interesting thing, the last place you look dirty trick, what I'm talking about there is pulling people's trash, looking through their trash for information that'll help your case. And that is generally a last place people look. It's just one of the more difficult things to do. It's not like sitting behind your computer just tapping out information. And really, people look at that dirty trick and they go, well, I know that, look through their trash for information. But really, let's deconstruct it. Look at what I'm really teaching you there and what I'm going to teach you here today. It's not to look through their trash for information. That is common sense. You should know that. Period. If you don't understand that just from an instinctual level, I got nothing for you. What we're really talking about, what I really want to teach you is when do you do this and how do you do this? This is a little more challenging. And really, you don't even know that it's challenging until you go to do it, until you've been out in the real world, until you've talked to someone who's been there and done that. And here's the reason why. Do you go earlier in the evening, say 11 o'clock at night, and pull the trash? Well, what if they're out at the bar or something and they come home and they see their trash is missing? Now you got a problem. Well, what if you go later, 1:30 in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, again, maybe they're coming home from the bar now. They're going to roll right up on you taking the trash. Well, you say, do I go, I wait until just before the trash people come. I'll go out there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe 5:30 and pull the trash. Then it'll only be gone for maybe an hour. Very little chance they'll notice it's missing. Well, as you go try to figure out how to do this best and not, tip your hand that you're doing it, you begin to realize there's all these types of problems. And that's really what I'm answering in that particular portion of the Dirty Tricks book. When do you go do this? The answer is, by the way, about 3 o'clock in the morning. That is just really the ideal time. They probably are in from anything they could reasonably be out doing. And most of the neighborhood people are going to be sound asleep. Now, the other thing I go on to teach in that tip, it still addresses, well, you got this problem. And if you go out there to do this, you're going to realize I'm taking all these people's trash. Everybody else on the streets got trash out except for them. They're going to know something's up. How do you solve that? And that's the other element I teach in the book. I'll teach it to you here. You do a drive-by, you look at what kind of trash they have out, and then you go get that trash from somewhere else in the neighborhood. If they've got 3 big black 55-gallon bags of trash and one little white 13-gallon kitchen trash bag, then go get that from somewhere else. When you take their trash, you deposit the duplicate trash so that they're not going to know that their trash is even missing. See, this is kind of the interesting thing. There's a bit of a skill, a bit of a thing to something that even is such common sense. And I like to teach you those details. I teach that kind of stuff in my book. I try to teach you here those details. Certainly in my higher price training courses, I teach you all of those details as well. But don't slough something off as being common sense until you really at least stop and think about it, or unless you've actually gone out and done it yourself. This is Larry Kay with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.